Hello, hello. Good afternoon. All right, great. So I was just testing the mic and everything, making sure it works. This is Mr. Whitford here, guys. I hope you guys have been staying safe, staying healthy. Um, being able to get all your needs done. Also, being able to keep up with your classes on not just from my class, but on all your classes on Google Classroom. I know that this time is new for all of us. I know it's tough to adjust, but just continue to do what you're doing. I'm very proud of every single one of you guys. Even if you only completed one of the 25, 30 assignments I put up, I'm still proud of you because you're doing something, and I would encourage you to keep going. Please don't stop doing your work just because it seems like there's not a lot of accountability. There is a lot of unknowns, I'll be honest with you, as to how grading is going to go about, how this online learning process is being graded. But I want to encourage you to keep doing it because it is still preparing you for next year, it's still giving you information and knowledge. And I know I've been putting up a lot of work. I've been asking you to do a lot of stuff. I've been making a lot of videos for you. And I know that can be like, man, I got to watch a video. I got to do a lesson. I got to watch a video. I got to do a lesson. I got to submit it. I got to do a quiz. I know it seems like a lot. Please just keep going. Overall, it's going to benefit you no matter what. All right. I'm hoping that just by you logging in once a day and just seeing the video that we put up, or the lesson I'm doing for you, it gives you some sense of normalcy, just to make your day a little bit normal, a little bit regular, like it should. Um, I want to go over what we're going to be talking about, what we're going to be doing from now until June. And I know we have 2 months left, May and June left. And I know there's still a good amount of curriculum to be covered. And I think it's possible to go through the whole curriculum in these next 2 months, even if it's online virtually. So just stay with us. Just try to log in as much as you can, ask questions as you can. You guys have been doing great. I apologize about any technical glitches that I didn't catch right away. Like I know quizzes and tests that I've created, um, that some of you guys wasn't able to access them, and I apologize about that in advance. Please, I apologize. So what I want to do is this. I want to address both my 8th graders and my 7th graders in this video. First, let me start with my 8th graders, just to tell you where we're going and what we're going to cover this month as well as next month, what we're doing this week, just to give you an idea. And then I'm going to transition over to my 7th graders to give you an idea of what we're doing this week as well as what we're going to do and cover in May as well as June. Um, so 8th graders. So as far as I see right now, for this week, let me start with that. For this week, today is Monday, right? You should have logged in. You should have done the question of the day, which is just a simple question as to what you may miss or what you are going to remember, actually. Either what you're going to miss about 2019-2020 school year or what you're going to remember about 2019-2020 school year. I would appreciate outside the box answers, things that are like, oh yeah, that would be difficult, or even really heartfelt answers that you're definitely gonna remember. I know everybody's gonna remember this coronavirus period of being out of school for March until June. We all gonna remember that. But try to think about something else that you may remiss about school, or something that you're gonna remember that was really positive and good in school, right? Or even in our class. Like, I would prefer if you could just make it a little bit more personal. So in our class, what is maybe something that you may remember, right? Um, I know we have a lot of funny moments that happen in our class 8th graders, whether it's period one or period eight. I can name tons that just makes me laugh. Between me chasing around Allison because she took my phone, or uh, waiting on David to sit in his square outside in the hallway, or something like that. Just take a second to just try to bring a moment to reflect. I want to try to keep you engaged as well as try to bring some type of normal to your regular routines right now, and it's tough to do, but just remember those moments that we had and not just let them slide. Okay, so you should have completed that question of the day, and as you should have been picking up, every week there's going to be one question a day, and every week there's going to be a throwback Thursday activity on Delta Math. If you haven't logged into Delta Math, please do so. There are at least 7 assignments as of right now that are up since we've went out of school that you can do. And that'll be good for you to be able to keep up and get them completed. Okay. So on Monday, which is today, question of the day. Tomorrow, what we're gonna do is we are going to find scale factors. So right now we've been talking about transformation, specifically in this new unit we just entered. we're talking about dilation. We already talked about rotation, reflection, and translation, but now we're going to talk about dilation, the last transformation that there is, which is when the object is either small and all of a sudden it gets bigger, or when it's big and it gets small, right? So that's dilation. And we're going to talk about finding the scale factor. Now, the last worksheet I gave you the scale factor. You had to actually just multiply and get the new point. Now I want to give you point A and then point A prime. And I want to see if you can find out what the actual scale factor was to go from one to the other. And I'm obviously going to make a video for it, so don't feel like, oh man, it's going to be difficult. I got to figure it out myself. No, I'm going to walk you through it. But please watch the videos. Please try to get learning. On Wednesday, we're going to talk about a little bit more composition transformation, so combining transformation. So in the last unit, Unit 8, we did some composition transformations regarding translation to reflection or reflection to rotation, and a number of combinations of 1 and 2. Now I want to keep it, and I'm going to incorporate dilation in each one. So it's going to just be 2. So it's going to be maybe dilation and reflection, or dilation and rotation, or reflection and dilation, right? So any one of those other 3 transformations with dilation included in it, just to have us practice with that. And we're going to do that on Wednesday as well as work on Friday doing it. Now, Wednesday specifically, we're going to do translation, dilation. Friday specifically, we're going to do reflection, dilation. And of course, on Thursday, we're doing a Throwback Thursday lesson. So what are we covering from now to the end of the year? I would like to still cover all of the units. I'm not going to lie to you. Is it possible? No. Like many of you, I'm going to be honest, it's really tough for me to stay focused and also continue to push forward and give you assignments and hope that it would get done. It seems like I'm just giving you tons of work and not really a lot of connection and not really a lot of editing. And I'm going through the work that you're giving me. I promise you this week, my wife is motivating me to go forth and try to grade and get things done and give you feedback. I am giving feedback on assignments. I know you may not want to revisit them, but it may help you see if maybe you got it all right or all wrong, especially if you see I graded it and out of 10 points, I only gave you 4. Maybe that means you need to look back to see what I took off points for, right? And that would definitely be helpful. Please don't submit assignments with nothing in it, because I got to give you a 0, and I'm not sure if you really did it, but you just forgot to upload it. So just be very aware of what you're doing. So we have Unit 9, what you're doing, which is dilation, which we should be done with in another week and a half, I believe, right? Just watch the videos, do practice. I'm going to put up some practice stuff. I'm going to try to give you more practice assignments. And of course, as we're ending, every time I end a unit, I'm not really ending it with a massive test. Right now, I've been giving you guys a very quick quiz on it. And that's probably what you're going to expect at the end of this unit. Quick quiz, probably 10 questions. And I'm probably going to have one question where you're actually going to have to upload an actual response that you're going to have to do on your own, but maybe the rest will be multiple choice. Okay. Unit 10, we're going to talk about angles and lines, which should be a reflection of the other unit we talked about early in the year, Unit 3, which covered parallel lines a little bit and perpendicular lines a little bit. So we may be reflecting a little back on that. And then finally, Unit 11, we're going to do at the end of May, which is value. Okay. And that's not hard. I'm giving you a formula. You just need to plug it in. And I'm even going to give you a website that you can use to just find the actual value of these shapes I'm going to give you. So it'll be a nice like open book of some sort. That way you can use this formula, use the website if you need to, and then put in the numbers that I give you, whether it's radius, whether it's diameter, whatever it is I'm giving you, you're going to be able to plug it right in, and then boom. And you just may have to calculate the side, but you can calculate sides if you need to, especially if it's square or rectangle. Unit 12 and 13, which Unit 12 is stats, and Unit 13 is a little bit of stats, scatter plots, and two-way tables. We can talk about those in June, and that'll be pretty much the accumulation of the rest of this year. Okay, now if you can get it all done, if you can just watch a couple of videos, it'll be great for you for next year. I'm not lying. From now to the end of the year, it's very pertinent that you do. I may even cut out Unit 12 and 13 next month and just solemnly go back to refreshing our memory of graphing lines, graphing inequalities, shadings, maybe even solving more than one inequality, right? More than one equation as well, with the elimination, substitution, and elimination, substitution, and what's the third method? See, I'm bugging out here. and graphing method, right? So I may even go back to do that so we can fresh our understanding of those 3 methods as well, okay? So those are for my 8th graders. Let me transition to my 7th graders. If you're in 8th grade, you can definitely log off. You ain't got to listen to the rest. Thank you so much for listening. 7th graders, thank you so much for waiting. Today, you also should have answered the question of the day, right? Tomorrow, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about outliers, right? We've talked about all types of stuff in data, whether it's mean, median, mode, range, calculating it, putting it in dot plots, putting it in box and whisker plots, analyzing and interpreting and comparing. We've done a lot with this data. We even talked about quartile 1 and quartile 3, right? We're going to take it a little bit step further by talking about outliers first, which is very simple, and it's going to be a Google Doc. I'm going to make a quick video tomorrow, probably 5 minutes long, a couple examples I'm going to give you between data and then also just a picture. And then from there, I'm just going to talk about, okay, what do you see as the outlier, right? What do you think the data will look like? Would it be skewed to the left, skewed to the right? Maybe a little bit along those lines. And I'm going to put up a 5-question Google form for you after you watch the video, which is a quick exit slip, if you can understand, to see if you got the understanding of that video, okay? Wednesday, we're gonna go into 9.3, which is IQR. Now, IQR is called interquartile range, which is a way to calculate the spread of the data, right? We looked at 9.2, we're gonna talk about outliers where the data is spread out, and you'll see that there's maybe one that's far out from the other data points. But just like the range and how we take the highest and the lowest value and we subtract them to see how spread the data is, there's another way to calculate spread, and there's something called IQR. And IQR is a little more reliable than something else called, I'm not going to tell you, but you'll learn it in Algebra 1. But nonetheless, we're going to calculate IQR, right? We're going to practice IQR on Thursday with the Throwback Thursday Delta Math assignment. And we're going to do something on Friday. We're just observing some data and seeing the variability in it, right? A lot of statistics is really observing and getting, all right? Now, for the rest of the year for you, right? I love stats. I'm glad that we're diving into it. But what I would like to do for you guys to make sure before this year is over, and I would definitely tune in to make sure you complete as much of this stuff as you possibly can, is I want to, I'm going to probably pause all the rest of the stats stuff that I got to go through. So there is some other stuff here I got to go through, which we're going to go through experimental probability, which is really calculating probability, calculating predictions, making predictions, rolling dice and playing with cards. And we're going to do that right after Unit 9. Right now we're in Unit 9. And there's a couple more things we're going to cover in Unit 9, which is analyzing data. So we already talking about outliers. We're going to talk about IQR. We're going to talk about mean, and we're also going to talk about something called mean absolute deviation. After we do those, we're going to go into the last unit of probability. Now, that will take us the rest of this month. I believe it's going to take us the rest of this month. It's not simple to talk about probability and understanding its chance and simple events and stuff like that. So we're going to do our best to try to really dive into that the rest of May. When June hits, what I would like to do is I want to talk about, right away, I'm going to talk about angles with you. I want to talk about angles, and I want to talk about geometric figures, right? Perimeter of shapes, scales, understanding how to calculate them with variables in it, right? So we're going to play around with a little bit of algebra again there. Understanding different types of angles, and just really try to build your understanding of angles before the school year is over. And that will be in June. And if we have any more extra time, I want to dive and go back. That'll be Unit 13. And I want to jump back to Unit 12, which we'll talk about area and volume of three-dimensional shapes, okay? So there's still a good amount of stuff to cover for you guys, but do your best. I'm going to skip over some lessons just because I know that they are lengthy. I know probably it's easier to understand if we were in person than they are probably over a video, because you can ask questions. But what I would like to do is I want to cover those things. Now, I would love your feedback. So after you watch this video, tell me what works best for you. So what is the best style right now of learning? I know some people are hands-on, some people like in person, but what is the best way I can help you learn the material now that we are not in person? Because that's what I really want to help with. I know we're doing this distant learning, but if I can get your feedback, maybe you prefer to be in the Zoom with me as I created. And if that's the case, then we can create that. We can do that. Maybe you like it where I put up the lesson and we talk about it for a little while on like a chat platform. That's fine. Let's do that, right? I want to get your feedback as to what's the best way I can help you in the season of learning. All right. And just lastly, please everybody stay healthy. If your parents are sick or anybody sick in your house, I'm praying for you. I hope you feel better. Just stay healthy, stay inside, wear a mask if you're going out. And please just keep up with habits, get some food. I know that you can head to Alfano. They're still doing foods on certain days. I want everybody to be healthy, and I want everybody to be able to still continue their learning. Even though the school year is over, the building may be closed, but learning isn't, all right? So continue to move forward. I'm super excited to see the rest of your work and what you're able to do. And maybe I'll even challenge somebody to, maybe I'll do as a last project in June and beginning of June or in another 2 weeks so, just for a nice extra credit fun project. We can all just put together a nice video of us in class or something like that. And that'll be pretty cool. All right. So thank you guys so much for just tuning in, listening. Look forward to talking to you guys later. All right. Bye-bye.